our opponent preview, penultimate opponent preview that we've been running through this summer. The Wisconsin Badgers. The Illini will be visiting Wisconsin on November 12th in Madison. November 12th. November 22nd. I'm an absolute mess today. My head is pounding. But they will be at Indiana the week before. Wisconsin will, obviously. Wisconsin's got a tough schedule this year. They play literally every team that's ranked in the AP poll right now in the Big Ten, except for Penn State. That is the only one they don't play. They have to play the other 5, including being at Indiana the week before Illinois. Because the other 5, they are in a span of like 6 weeks, too. They have to play everybody. And in their out-of-conference schedule, they are playing Alabama, who is ranked 8th to open the season because they did the home and home. So they're at Bama week 3 as well. They've got a tough schedule. And the week after, they'll close the season versus Maryland. All-time Illinois versus Wisconsin. Wisconsin does have a slight upper hand. The Illini are 39-45-7 against the Badgers. In Madison, the Illini are 17-25-4. Their last meeting, which came in 2023, was a 25-21 loss. The meeting before that, or the last meeting in Madison, was a win for our Illini. What is going on today? 34-10 in Madison. They won that in 2022. That was our last time they've been there. So it has been 3 years. Their first meeting, get a load of this, November 1st, 1892. They met 3 times in the 1890s. So these two go way back. And that first matchup in good old 1892 was a 0-0 tie. If I paid to be in that game and I watched a 0-0 tie, I would want my nickel back if it even costs that much. But anyway, recent history of Wisconsin football. Taking a look at the last 5 years of their program, as we always do, just to get an idea of where they've been, where they're at right now, their current situation going into the year. 2024 was kind of a down year for them. They've been pretty good in the really good 2010s, and they've been solid in the 2020s, not as good. But last year was definitely a down year for them. They were 5-7, 3-6 in the Big Ten, and then 2-5 at home, where the Illini will be facing them. So not that good at home last year. That is definitely good for our Illini because this is kind of a tough road game thrown towards the back end of the schedule, right? Because Illinois got back-to-back home games against Rutgers, Maryland, and then they've got this one, and then for the final game, they come back home for Northwestern. So this is kind of I know it's not far, but it's still a kind of random road game thrown in there. It could be a potential trap game. Their wins last year were against Western Michigan, who the Illini will face this year, South Dakota, Purdue, at Rutgers, and at Northwestern. So not really a very impressive wins resume, but their losses, to be fair, were against very difficult teams. They were to Alabama, who was ranked, at USC, who was ranked, Penn State, who was ranked, at Iowa, Oregon, then at home, who was ranked number 1 in the country. They only lost by 3, actually. It was 16-13 game. They gave Oregon a time in Madison. And then at Nebraska and Minnesota as well. And they did not get picked for a bowl game, even though some of the bigger conference teams that go 5-7 do. They were not. So they played 4 ranked teams, and they lost every single one of them. And I have a pretty good feeling our Illini are still going to be ranked by the time they meet the Badgers, who, again, also lost 5 games at home. That's not ideal whatsoever. But it is good for the Illini, that's for sure. 2023, they were 7-6. They went 5-4 in the Big Ten. and then 4-3 at home. So definitely better in 2023. Definitely was a step down in 2024. Pretty low scoring for them overall. They had some games where they only scored like 15, 16 points and won. The games they lost too, they barely scored like any points. Very low scoring team. They did score a lot in the ReliaQuest Bowl in Tampa, but still lost to LSU 35-31. That was our last bowl appearance. They also lost to both Northwestern and Indiana, which were not good losses. Northwestern's never good, and Indiana was bad in 2023. They did beat our Illini, though, unfortunately. That is when their last meeting was. 2022, they were also 7-6, except 4-5 in the Big Ten, still 4-3 at home. So not really that strong of a home track record. I mean, 4-3, you still want to do a little better than that at home. They did beat New Mexico, though, or New Mexico State, sorry, 66-7, which is crazy. But they did lose to the Illini. The Illini smacked them in Madison. That was good stuff. And then they played in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. That was in Phoenix. They won that one 24-17 against Oklahoma State University. Sorry, I wrote OSU in my notes, and I was like, what? No, they did not beat Ohio. It was Oklahoma State. I just had to process that. 2021 was the last time they were like good. Like 7-6 is fine, but they were good in 2021. They were 9-4, 6-3 in the Big Ten, and 5-2 at home. That's more of a home record you're looking for, especially with the way they like to hype up their home stadium. Like, come on, bro. Everything about the jump around last year when Bama came to play them, all that controversy, and he went 2-5 at home. He got smacked by Alabama in that game. Come on. But 2021, they had it going on in Madison. And they also beat our Illini in Champaign 24-0 that year. They also beat Iowa, who was ranked 9th at the time, 27-7. Very impressive. 3 of their 4 losses were to ranked teams as well. So ranked teams, for the most part, still had their number, but they did get a win over a top 10 team. And, only 1 loss against an unranked opponent. I mean, that's really all you could ask for. They then played in the SRS Distribution Bowl in these names are ridiculous. The SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl in Las Vegas. They beat Arizona State 20-13. Also that year, they went to College Game Day, or they were on College Game Day against Notre Dame. They played them in a neutral game at Soldier Field, and they lost 41-13. But since it was in Chicago, I actually did go to that College Game Day and saw the Wisconsin Badgers. My hard hat from when I went to that. Not super relevant, but certainly a good memory I had. Because when I was looking through their schedule, I was like, oh, yeah, I went to that. I watched the College Game Day there. And 2020, they were 4-3 in the shortened season. They were 3-3 and in the Big Ten, and 2-1 at home in the just 3 home games there. They beat Illinois in Madison 45-7. Good God. And then they won at Michigan as well, 49-11. They came out hot and then kind of crumbled as the season went on. But they did make it to the Duke's Mayo Bowl in that shortened COVID season and beat Wake Forest 42-28. So good for them. Their head coach is Luke Fickell, who is been the head coach since 2022 in November. He was named their head coach right at the end of the season there. He's 13-13 in his time at Wisconsin. However, he was the head coach at Cincinnati from 2017 to 2022. You'll probably know him better from his time there because he was really good at Cincinnati. 57-18 in 6 seasons there, including 2021, where he led the team to a 13-1 record and a college football playoff appearance. They grabbed that 4 seed, and their 1 loss was in the semifinals of the college football playoff. They were undefeated until then. He won 2 AAC titles in 2020 and in 2021. He was also an assistant coach. He was at Ohio State for a very long time. He was basically an assistant coach from 2002 until 2016. That's also where he played. So spent a lot of time at his alma mater in the Big Ten. He was also their interim head coach in 2011 for that 2011 season. And they were 6-7, so didn't really do much with Ohio State that year. So overall, between his year at Ohio State, all his time at Cincinnati, and then his time going 500 at Wisconsin so far that is 3 seasons. Yes, 3 seasons. So this will be his 4th with the Badgers. He is 76 and 38 overall. So pretty good. He's 3-4 in bowl games and then 0-1 in the college football playoff. Fun fact, he also played for the New Orleans Saints as a nose guard in 1997. Spent 1 year in the NFL. Their top players to look out for, we have Ricardo Hallman. He is a cornerback. He is one of the top-rated quarterbacks in the country. He allowed just 20 catches in the entirety of 2024. So he's incredibly dangerous. That was the second fewest in the Big Ten for corners with over 300-plus snaps taken on the season. You've got Austin Brown. He is a safety. He had 51 tackles, 3 pass breakups, and 1 forced fumble, and 1 sack in 2024. And then another safety in Preston Zachman with 58 tackles, 4 pass breakups, and 2 interceptions last season. So a very dangerous secondary overall between a top-rated corner and 2 very dangerous safeties as well. So the passing game will definitely have to look out. We don't know what the Illinois passing game is going to look like by then. I mean, we're way out in the future. We're looking the week before Thanksgiving at this point because this is the second to last game of the regular season. Offensively, you want to look out for Lance Mason. He is a tight end who has transferred from Missouri State, 590 yards and 6 touchdowns there. Then last year, you got their top receiver, Vinny Anthony, 39 receptions, 672 yards, and 4 touchdowns at a breakout season for him last year. And then you have got Cade Yakimelli and Darian Dupree, a decent running back tandem that you want to look out for as well. They also have Mason Rieger going back to the defensive end. He is a linebacker transfer from Louisville. He wasn't like that highly touted like coming into the season, but he's been really good for them in fall camp is the word. So we're going to want to watch out for him as well.